Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Mazezoke speaking to us. Today is Friday. Today is usual my Friday hangout. How are we doing today? And I have been, as many of you have been sending me information, sending me messages on my WhatsApp, on Twitter, asking how is Mazi doing. I am glad to say that Mazi is doing all right and that Mazezoke is back in full force. Then I'll ask you back, how are you doing? I can see that many of you have been doing pretty well. So may I ask you if you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been seeing my face for the longest time, but you haven't subscribed to this platform? By all means, please subscribe to this platform. This is my Friday hangout. There is a lot to talk about. I will try as much as possible to make this a very quick one. But again, be that as it may, I welcome you all to this wonderful evening with Mazes, okay? And I hope that you are going to enjoy it as I am going to enjoy it. I will say, let us rock and roll. People, let us rock and roll. It appears my internet connection is slightly wobbly this evening, but again, it's not going to stop us from doing the needful. But again, you always know that I do give my audience time to also have some feedback. If you wish to join me in this conversation, of course, you are free at some point to wanting to join in the studio. I can share the link, then that will bring you straight on to the studio. Now, I think I might have to close some applications running on my system. For some reason, I can see that my feedback is slightly sticky. I hope that I will be able to get that done so we can get cracking. Now, this evening, we will be looking at a couple of things. Many of you, if you recall, many of you who are ardent followers of what is happening within the Nigerian space would know that the all progressive confidence, in the words of Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, the one who said that Mazezoke is a dotted one, and he called me the dot in the circle. And I said to myself, if you give me stuff, I can make stuff out of it. Then I said to Mr. President, I am proudly dotted. Therefore, I became Onyedot. The all progressive confidence, all progressive confidence, all progressive, I don't even know again. All progressive Congress. Something sinister, something sinister is happening within the APC. As of today, in the last couple of hours, we have about 40 people applying to contest for the presidency of Nigeria under the APC, and they are over 40 people. Over 40 people, you calculate 100 million per each. Your guess is as good as mine. That gives you approximately about 4 billion naira. Wow. Wow. Just to be president of a nation. Just to be a president of a nation. The one that I think that broke the camel back, if you permit me to say, is the form picked by the current central bank governor. This is a civil servant, and there are some posts that you know that these posts should be considered sacred, especially when it comes to monetary policy. That a CBN governor, we have never seen such level of madness before. Sorry, I'd have no apologies But to classify this entirely as, as madness, it is entirely madness to note that at the end of the day, a man who ought to be serving the interest of Nigeria in terms of fiscal and monetary policy is wanting to become a president while he is still in office. And I ask myself, where has the man who says he is the anti-corruption choice, he is the one fighting corruption, where has he gone to? Has he gone to bed? What is happening to him? The APC has gone crazy, I tell you. This evening, we have people like the former Lagos State Governor, in the person of Ambode. We heard that he has also picked the ticket. Not only Ambode that has picked the ticket, we also have Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Yahaya Adoze, Bello. We have Governor Dave Omahe, Emeka Nwajuba, Godswill Babio, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, Kayode Fayemi, that is the governor of Ekiti State. And we also have that the Viagra Mount Labour leader, that is Adams Oshomole, the former APC national chairman. We have Rocha Sokorocha. We have Ben Ayade. We have Rotimi Chibike Amechi, the Minister of Transportation, the one who builds train to Niger but cannot build train to his own people, the one who builds train from Lagos to Ibadan and Abuja Kaduna Rail, but yet the narrow gauge between Port Harcourt using Aba Omaya up to Meduguri cannot be upgraded to standard gauge, even when, according to him, that all the gauges will be removed. Then I ask myself, if you're going to remove this narrow gauge ab initio, why don't you just widen it up a bit and replace them with a standard gauge? That would make it possible that sometime you can have interconnectivity within these other rail tracks. By that action, it means that trains going from Port Harcourt to Meduguri, if ever that is built in our generation, will never have connectivity with that runs in the southwest. And he wants to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's Rotimi Amechi. We have also Jack Rich, we have Adamu Gaba II, and we have Olawepun Hashim. We also have Nicholas Felix. Like I said before, we have MFLO, we have Ambode, and we have Ogbonnaya Onu. I did not in any way forget the Okija Shrine governor in the person of Dr. Chris Nwabeze Ngige. So many people. I believe you would have to agree with me, indeed, that the APC have gone rogue and that they have gone gaga. In the words of Femi Kayode, that is Femi Fani Kayode FKK, this evening, in his own words, that over 40 people have collected the tickets. Wow. 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 I say again. Now, that is on one point. That is the first thing we're going to be discussing. Then the second point is the insecurity in the Southeast. The insecurity in the Southeast has obviously gotten worse. Tomorrow, I will be having a conversation on the state of the Igbo nation, security-wise. That conversation, I will have the privilege of having people join me from all walks of life. My guest will be Henry Shield and Anambra First Son, both from the Twitter space. Do not miss this conversation tomorrow, 6 p.m. Nigerian time. Having said that, as you are aware, yesterday President Muhammadu Buhari found his way to Ebonyi State. Incidentally, I was in Ebonyi State last weekend. I came into Ebonyi State on Saturday and I left Ebonyi State on Sunday. For the first time, something struck me. While I was in Ebonyi State, I went to the shopping mall. Many of you saw it on Saturday. I did a live stream from the shopping mall. A very fantastic project being done by the Ebonyi State governor. Today, while I was watching President Muhammadu Buhari's speech, I heard him say that in 2017, he came to Ebonyi State and he had the foundation ceremony of that structure. And today, how many years later, 5 years later, that structure is completed. What a magnificent project that is. I also had the privilege on Sunday of going to Ebonyi State International Airport. After I left Ebonyi, I headed straight to the airport in Anambra State and I took off from Anambra State Airport. For the first time, it struck me because in one day, I was in Ebonyi. In the evening, I was in Anambra State. I saw two different airports. I know my good friends and my people of Anambra State. I am a proud Anambra State indigene, and I am so lovely that even if I come to this world 100 times, I would want to remain a citizen of Anambra State. Not because I'm a high chief or anything like that, but I love my state. This is the state of my ancestors. But I must say that the things I saw in Ebonyi over the past week, or rather over the weekend, made me begin to see things differently. Recall that Anambra State Airport, as many of us know, we've argued that that airport was good. Yes, the airport is still good, but I would say it's only the runway. Anambra State Airport Terminal is nothing but a bus terminal. I was roundly disappointed. I will publish the video of Anambra Airport as well, so you'll be the judge. I was roundly disappointed that the state of Anambra State Airport is terrible in terms of the terminal building. The terminal building is nothing to write home about. Well, many of you will argue that, well, it is better we start that way. Then I say, why would Ebonyi State that has less revenue and resources than Anambra State build anything they build state-of-the-art facility? But my state of Anambra State, we will start with managing. Comparing the two airports, I can tell us for free of charge by the time Ebonyi State Airport comes on stream. I'm not a betting man, but I will be very willing to bet with anyone who cares to bet with me that Ebonyi will see or may see international plane land on it before Anambra does. Why do I say so? Ebonyi State Airport has a very massive world-class terminal. Anambra Airport has a warehouse demarcated with tarpaulin. I repeat, Anambra Airport has a warehouse demarcated with tarpaulin. When you go through the security door, getting into your departure lounge, quote unquote, departure lounge, it is nothing, honestly, to write home about because it's too small. Secondly, it is a demarcation done with tarpaulin from the arrival and departure. It's something done in a hurry. But again, I say kudos to the man who even did something. But again, if we must hold leaders to account and say anything worth doing is worth doing well, I will say Anambra Airport is roundly, as long as the terminal is concerned, very disappointing. Buhari in Ebonyi State to commission a couple of projects. Buhari is in Ebonyi State to commission the King David University of Medical Sciences. There is a video published about 30 minutes or 45 minutes ago on here on Njenje Media, on YouTube, and on Facebook. I'll ask you endeavor to go back and watch those videos and see things from my point of view. The video is about 27 minutes. That is the much we could compress the over 2 hours of recording, because there were honestly so much to show, but we managed to compress the video under 27 minutes. I left Ebony that day thinking how I wish that other state governors in the Southeast and in the South-South would ever have such to emulate. While you compare some governors that make noise, like the one in River State, attacking every single person, you ask yourself, if you ever dare give the governor of Ebony State 10% of what is accruable in some of these states that make a lot of noise, don't you think that he would deliver more? You begin to wonder, what were other governors doing before he came? In some forums, I have this afternoon argued with a lot of people when I shared the video. Some say the governor should have started with low-cost housing. They should have started with these, and the other one I say, listen, you have to start somewhere. Again, there are issue of low-cost housing, schools being built, but the things I saw and the standard with which they were built, for instance, if you go into the King David University, state-of-the-art facilities, there is a cancer center, there is a heart operation center, all these diseases that our people suffer and fly to India to get themselves treated, these facilities are there. Not only that the facilities are there, they also do have, the other part of teaching lectures where you have the e-library, everything there, any literature that is not readily available there, you can make a request and that literature will be bought for you. Ensure that you have no reason to say that this literature is not there, that you can read it. You go to the physics library, you go to chemistry library, you go to biology library, you go to information technology library, the escalators are working, you look at the reception is 2,000 times. The reception at the university is 2,000 times better than an airport in my state of Anambra. Can you beat that, people? That is it. Now, let us rewind and go back and start with these conversations again. Let's go back to the APC. Before we go back to the APC, we will probably go back and invite the president, because when the president took over, or rather when they were campaigning, the president were saying stuff that we thought we did understood, but we never knew. We never understood the president, and we never knew he was sending us a coded message. The messages the president sent us, but that appears, as it is today, that many of us are beginning to understand the message the president was sending across to us. Before I dive into that this evening, I must say to many of you who sent condolence messages to me, I do appreciate your prayers. I do appreciate your time and your effort. And some of you who were able to attend the burial of my elder brother, I say thank you. Some of you who weren't able to attend and who joined us virtually, I do also say thank you very much. And I thank you in so many ways. It was a very trying period. It was a very painful and a sad death, having to lose two siblings within a space of 15 months. You know, it's one of those things I wouldn't even wish my enemy. If I had one, sadly, I have no enemies. At least, not that I know of, though that I have said that they are mine, unless so many of you who are misguided, who probably don't understand issues the way they ought to be, who consider different opinions enmity. And I say to you, if that be you, so be it. Thank you very, very much for all the care and prayers given in that trying period. Before I go back to the APC ticket gone crazy, I would want to take some couple of your comments and, as a means of feedback. This is not only one person speaking, so it's good to go back and have feedback from your audience. I will start with Jesus. What, what a name. Okay. If I start with Jesus, Jesus says, Mazi, what's happened now? I can't even. Okay, Jesus says, Mazi, I understand what you're talking about, even though I am far away in Switzerland, but the video of the project I see on YouTube done by Dave Omahi, if it is as I see it on the video, David tried. While I was doing the video last week, I said something to us that I have the feeling because I see these things, I take these shots myself. Sometimes the staff do also help, but from the things I see and from the things the camera captures, sometimes I do have that feeling that the camera is actually not doing enough justice to the videos, or rather to the images that I see there. Obviously, you live in Switzerland. There is never a time we will. Obviously, Switzerland is a much developed society. There is never a time we will see and compare stuff as it is in Switzerland. But one thing that is very clear is that in the context of Africa, the things seen in Ebony are indeed something of gratification to note that this thing is happening in your neck of wood. In the words of my late father, he says, the things we are looking in Sokoto, incidentally, are in our Shokoto. And it is only when you do your hands the other way, you definitely touch that which you are looking for. Dele Amedu says, Wike needs to be investigated ASAP. If Ebony with mega resources could boast of world-class infrastructure, then Wike as a governor of Rivers State needs to be given the Obiano treatment by EFCC. Well, you said it, not me. One thing I can tell you is that with the amount of resources available to to Rivers Delta, Akwa Ibom, if these resources, half of it is available to Dave Umahi, that's going to be a different ballgame. Do you know that every single road you drive on in Ebony is 8 inches full concrete with iron cast? Just like when you do, I tell people, for you to have a mental picture of what it means is like, imagine a duplex decking, when you deck a duplex. That's exactly what you're doing on the roadside, and you have, both sides, dual carriage. If you leave Enugu, I had, my friend who went with me to Ebony State. At some point when we were leaving Ebonyi, we fell asleep. But the moment we saw bumpy areas before Emene and a very dirty environment, he woke up and said, "We have left Ebonyi, isn't it?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Yeah, of course. You can see that the environment has changed. Everywhere is dirt. Everywhere is dirty, and 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 you can see that from the faces of the of the people." Jesus Christ! The one that really got me is Ebony State's International Airport Terminal. I didn't have my tape, but looking at the level of cement, that is nothing less than 12 inches, because it's two layers. Actually, it should be between 12 and 16 inches. Two layers of of work. I had to, at some point, I said, let's drive as if a plane is landing. We had to drive from one end of the runway to the other. And you ask yourself, one thing my last visit to Ebonyi has proven to me is that we can actually ignore the federal government exactly, the way Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo has been saying, that we can build a society from ground up, not necessarily waiting for the federal government to. Dave Omahi, with the mega resources Ebony State is doing, I'm a project manager. The things I saw have convinced me that we still have men with grey matters in between their skulls that can do the needful if need be. If Nigeria is actually a place where quality matters, every commissioner of works should be sent to Ebony State to go and do boy, to go and do apprenticeship, because that's what it should be. Thank you very much, DCNSZ. Really sorry about your brothers. Post account details. Well, I think if you take note of the lower third there, you will see the media communications account number on the bottom there. If you so wish, you may use that. So now, people, what is your thought on the number of people that has so far purchased the APC ticket? In the words of Femi Fani Kayode this evening, Femi Fani Kayode said that over 40 people, and when I started, I railed out over 20 names of people, the ones I could remember. I'm not an encyclopedia, but there are names I could remember that have actually bought the tickets. Now, for so many of you on the comment section who said they want to join, I've just basically shared the link for you to join me here. So you may click on it and also join me if you so wish. Let's have a matured conversation and see. In looking at this, if you may permit me, we may go ahead and look at the individuals that we think are in this race once more. We have the PP Master, the Puyi, and the Puya. We have the one many of you fondly call Tata Tata Ta, the Yeye Bello, the one that owes salary, a man who cannot pay salary of a state, 26,000 square kilometer, the size of the Southeast. He couldn't pay salaries, but he wanted to become the president of the Federal Republic. We have the wonder-working governor in the person of Dave Omahi, the only one who, with the governor of Borno State, Zulum, who actually perform wonders with little resources available to them. We have the one, I call him the younger Abakari. If you Google him, Emeka Nwajuba, you will see him wears and dresses like Abakari. Sadly, his mentor, Abakari, is now late. We have the uncommon transformer, the former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Akpabio, who is incidentally also the minister of Niger Delta and in charge of NDDC, Niger Delta Development Commission, where Professor Pondi, when you ask them to account for the billions they spent, they faint. Do you still remember Off Your Mic? You still remember Off Your Mic saga? That is the one I am talking about. I gave it to him. He was also a man who developed his state tremendously, but many would argue with, at what cost? He can also be accused of having borrowed like a man within the asylum. You have Professor Yemi Osubanjo, a very erudite professor, an orator, a man who can speak without reading notes nor using a teleprompter. Many accuse him of keeping quiet while a lot of atrocities happened under the one he served, that is, President Muhammadu Buhari. Many also accuse him of being a bad manager of the economy. Recall that the vice president under his purview, he has he is the one that is in charge of the economy, and you can see how bad the economy is now performing. You also have the Kayode Fayemi, the governor of Ekiti State, the one who was a contractor during the time of Nedeko to go and get debts, refuge, and pour them on the third mainland bridge in order to fight Abacha. You have the Viaga Mouth, Labour leader, ex-Labour leader, the one who is married to a populistic lady, the one who talks without control while he was the APC, APC chairman. Recall his famous phrase that if you decamp from another party and you come into the APC, that all your sins will be forgiven, insinuating that even if you're a thief, as long as you come into APC, you're
Tony Ilwobe means I don't do bad. And in fact, once you have joined APC, all your sins are forgiven. Once you have joined APC, all your sins are forgiven. All your sins are forgiven.
So you recall the one that says once you've joined APC, all your sins are forgiven. He now wants to be a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You recall that we still have Dr. Philip Idewo. I mean, I don't think he has paid, but he still, he has interest in that. And we have the Iberiberizing governor, the former, the one that had a lot of China road constructed in Imo State, the only governor in Nigeria that builds bridges without any road. However he does it is magic. But after a while, those bridges collapsed in the person of Rochas, Anayochukwu Okorocha. And we have the former PDP, but now APC crying governor, the one that said he has wasted 7 years or 6 years and all the things he wanted to achieve as a governor, he hasn't achieved them and he is crying. Then they ask him, Oga, why are you crying? In the person of Ben Ayade. We have Rotimi Amechi, let me not say that. But again, he's the Minister of Transportation, a Minister of Transportation that is not able to build a standard gauge rail transportation system for his people within Eastern Nigeria. And we have Ten Jack Rich, we have Adamu Gaba. Recall Adamu Gaba the second. Adamu Gaba is the one that said he was going to sue Twitter when Twitter banned President Muhammadu Buhari. Now it appears a little bit difficult for him to gather the 100,000 or rather 100 million to buy the form. Olawepu Hashim, Nicholas Felix, MFLO, the governor of Central Bank, Ambode, the former governor of Lagos State, Ogbonnayano, the Minister of Science and Technology, that promised Nigeria that Nigeria will start producing pencil within a space of 3 years. But now this is the 7th year. I am not aware that Nigeria has produced any pencil under him. But hey, I like him. He's a gentleman. Also, he was the former civilian governor of Abia State before that state got split, and Dafibo, his area, joined Ebony State. People, isn't APC a wonderful party? 40 people contesting for one seat. Now, I ask myself, I do not only see these numbers, but I even forgot Andiuba, the one that failed in his bid to become the governor of Anambra State under APC. He has joined the fray. And we also have Dr. Chris Ngige, the former illegal governor of Anambra State. Yes, I keep using illegal governor because he stole a mandate, and that mandate that he stole eventually was taken away from him, and that's what made him illegal governor. So many of them, so many people wanting to become governor, president in Nigeria. Then I ask myself, to what end? Do you think this is normal? I think there is more to it than that meets the eye. There is more to it. I think for some reason I can sense, I forgot the one I did respond to the other time, Dr. Tunde Bakari, the one that accused and said that Igbos killed Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, and that he cursed Ndibo, that Ndibo would never govern Nigeria. I told you that time that the moment he made that statement, in my response to him, I said to us, here is a man who is trying to come out for president. That which he said was never reviewed by the Spirit, nor was it a factual information. He was just taking a cheap shot in order to see how he can pull the Igbos down in order for him to have something to climb on. Recall one time he told us that God told him that Buhari was going to hand over to him. And I said, what is the essence of an election? If Buhari was going to hand over to you, then you better go and fast 7 days and 7 nights. Recall that there was a time he actually said that he belongs to no political party. I don't know if he has changed, if he's now a member of any political party. Your guess is as good as mine. So am I forgetting anybody? There are people, there are so, it's gone crazy. And to think that all these people buying this form for 100 million, just that the government is a useless one. Sorry, but the government is a useless one. If not, why wouldn't they be tasking them for now to tell us how much they had paid in taxes? Anyone who can get out 100 million to buy a presidential form should be able to have something to to say, this is what I do and this is how I get my money. I can see that someone is trying to join the conversation. Please, by all means, make sure that where you are is well lit up. And if that is the case, I have Mohammed Aminu join me here. Mohammed Aminu, you're welcome. Yeah, Mohammed Aminu, you're welcome.
I want to use this opportunity to salute you. I've been following you so many times in your programs, but I couldn't have the opportunity to speak on you on the video, so to say.
Okay, go ahead,
But,
Mohammed.
by and large, going by the topic of today, I think there are so many important issues that are bordering, particularly the southeast, so to say, or the whole Nigeria, and that I think we need to do the issue of APC, TKT, or something like that. That is for the politicians. It's left for them to do their games as they want it. But we believe, just I heard you saying that Tunde Bakari has made some statements, I think months ago, which you think, going by his words, may definitely hurt him in the maybe soliciting for the support of the people from particularly the southeast, so to say. But I think there are so many important issues that maybe we need to discuss generally, so to say, and Nigeria at large, and also southeast in particular, so to say.
May I give you the opportunity to raise those issues that you think are of great importance?
Okay. I think that last 3-4 days, if I am not mistaken, there were army officers that were butchered or killed, so to say, in southeast, and they were going for marriage, so to say, a woman and a man, both of them an army officer. I think the woman was also, as I heard, was raped before even she was even killed. So I don't know why you're not talking about that particular issue, because it's a very big challenge, so to say.
I think if you look at the topic, of discussion, and if you had joined me from onset, it will be fair to look at the topic of discussion. That is the second topic. There are 3 topics here. One is the APC, and second is the insecurity in the southeast. And I said here, insecurity in the southeast has gone worse. And I did mention that, but while I touched on all
I'm just joining. That is why I did not hear you at that particular aspect.
Okay. So, well, you can see that clearly. That is the reason why I added the insecurity in the southeast is gone worse. Now, can we, I would want to discuss that with you, but before we go further to that insecurity in the southeast, can we take it in the order of my presentation? Now, can we stay on the APC ticket? Do you have any comments to make on the APC ticket? 1, on the price; 2, on the amount of people that are joining the presidential race, before we get into the insecurity in the southeast?
Okay. Precisely my own particular or personal view about the APC presidential aspirant that have been buying from all these weeks that have been passing. It could have been very important for them to maybe use the money in some aspect to help the needy in Nigeria, so to say, because from my personal view, from all the candidates have shown interest to contest under the platform of the APC, I think I would maybe just pick 2 people or 3, so to say. For example, if I'm going to mention name, like Tinubu, so to say, have the political structure. That is what we call political structure. So if someone needs to build in Nigerian politics, you cannot just wake up one day and say you want to be a president of Nigeria. It's not possible. It's just not been done like that in Nigeria. You have to work hard, earn it, solicit for the support of the voters, and also build your bridges, so to say. I think among all the candidates, Tinubu have that particular qualities also to say, or facilities. He has built the political structure, especially in the southwest and even the north, so to say, but maybe little in the southeast, so to say. But I think the remaining aspirants, Let me drop the point.
Let me hold on, Tinubu. Okay. There are many people that will say that Tinubu is not healthy. Do you think he is? Do you think his health or his health status could really handle the rigor of presidential office? Or do you think if we elect him as president, you're going to be looking at another tragedy as we did have with President Muhammad Buhari, that over a year he could exactly. So is that something wrong with us that we always like to have sick people to govern us?
Okay, on this particular question you just put to me, my personal understanding of what is going on generally in Nigeria, so to say, if I'm going to cite example with some candidate among the APC, so to say, if going by the age of comparing with Tinubu and others that are aspiring to be president of Nigeria, let me just give you an example now. We have someone like Soweri, so to say. He's a young person at the age of maybe 50 or 40 something, so to say, if I'm not mistaken. But taking a look at his antecedents and predicaments also to what he has done in the past, honestly, you cannot just ask him to become a president. He needs to start from somewhere. Though all the candidates in APC, I don't know the health of Tinubu, but looking at physically, is far in age, so to say, almost close to Buhari, if I'm not mistaken.
So
I'm coming. Politics is a game of choice. If the voters deem it fit that they are willing to give him their votes, may so be it is their choice. Nobody can stop them from voting the person they choose to vote.
Unless the
we
voters
cannot decide.
Unless the voters take tramadol, while they would see, if we put sentiment aside and you look at the health and the performances of, let's take two people that are on the seat currently. You look at President if Professor Yemi Osinbajo was to be from the Northwest, if Professor Yemi Osinbajo were to be from Katsina or from Sokoto, do you think putting Professor Yemi Osinbajo and putting Buhari, if they both were to be from the Northwest, do you think that Buhari had a chance?
The issue of politics in Nigeria, you cannot just predict maybe by just citing examples, so to say. What I'm trying to pinpoint or buttress on the topic of the discussion is that, for example, now there is difference between what you feel and what is on reality. You understand what I'm saying? What we feel physically, Tinubu is older in age, but is it on reality that he cannot be given the ticket of APC? That is the point. That is the point we need to discuss.
No, I think you're mixing two things here. I think the things I think you're mixing here is very simple. Now,
Okay.
the question I asked you was on Tinubu, right? Are you still there?
I'm there. I'm with you.
Okay. The question I asked you was on Tinubu's health.
Yeah.
Now you're jumping from one, topic to the other.
I cannot talk about his health because I don't know him. I don't know his health.
Yes, the same way you didn't know Buhari's health, but there are some physical appearances, there are some physical manifestations that when you begin to see them, for instance, if I tell you that I am in good health and you tell me, Mazi, can we just go from one shop to the other? And after 2 minutes, I can no longer walk, and I'm panting. And I say, can you give me water to drink? And you want to give me water, and my hand is shaking like this, but I'm telling you, everything is fine. I'm perfect in order. Do you think that is, I'm being fair, even when you haven't seen my medical record? Do you think I'm being fair?
I understand the direction you're going to. I understand. But what I'm trying to pinpoint is that if, for example, me and you believe are in the same line that Tinubu is not healthy to lead the country, Nigeria, so to say. But in reality, can the party maybe sideline him and give another person that they think is more healthier than him? That is the point.
Okay. Anyway, that is for the delegate to decide. But now, let me bring in Barry here. Barry, good evening, Barry.
Good evening, Mazi.
No, on the topic we are discussing now, we are still on the APC, and over 40 people have bought their tickets. So far, I've listed the names of over 20 people. What's your take? Many of you on the comment section are saying, like even Mohammed Aminu said, they should probably have used some of this money to, do societal work, build stuff for the poor, for the needy, help the poor and the needy, but no one is actually doing doing that. They all wanting to be president at once. What is your take?
Thank you very much, Mazi. I think there is something going on. Sincerely, I don't believe that all these people buying tickets here and there at such a price of 100 million truly wants to be president. I think there is something we don't know about. Most of them are not qualified to be president. What is the rationale behind somebody that is a minister for state of education or what? When ASU is on strike, buying tickets of 100 million without resolving this issue? Minister of Labor, Minister of Science, CBN governor. I don't understand. This cannot happen in any sane society. And I think the biggest problem we have here, I don't blame them because they see us as, they've seen Nigerians that we can't do anything. Whatever they wake, when they sleep and wake up, they do certain things they like whenever they like it, and nobody questions them. I always say that the problem is the citizens.
Sorry, please, let me pray. I'm coming back.
Okay, sorry, okay. Aminu, we'll take you out, and when you come, we'll bring you back.
So the problem now is, I think the citizens are here to blame because we allow them. Yes, the other day I saw National Association of Nigerian Students trying to get a peaceful protest. That should be what should be on ground. We should question, apart from politics, because I believe something, there is a negotiation coping. I think there is something that's been leaked to most of these people. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I might. Sorry?
I think, Barry, I totally agree with you. You know, I told someone that rang me about 2 hours ago, the moment Emefelu, Anyuba, Ambode, in one day, they all bought their ticket. I said to that person, I think you don't need to be a soothsayer to know that there is something happening. Now, we have some permutations of how we can place something that is happening, but we are not too sure. I think, if I may say, I think there is a gang up happening. There is a gang up. But let me bring in Dubem here. Dubem, if you don't mind, if you can sit up upright and speak to us, okay?
All right. Good evening, Mazi.
Yes, good evening, my brother.
Well, when it comes to the ticket, I mean, it's only in insane country like Nigeria that a government that came into power claiming that they want to fight corruption now comes into power and they want people to start buying form for 100 million. And all the aspirants would come to TV and tell us that the people buying the form for them are some unknown, I don't know, the same hungry Nigerians that can barely feed are the ones buying the form for them, even though we all know that these people are not going anywhere, like my brother that spoke before me said. I just heard you mention Emefele now. I didn't. I'm just hearing it now that he also got the form as well. And few weeks ago, or a month ago, there was a big thing about people saying if he was going to contest or not. Every same person was like, it's not possible. How can you be a CBN governor and be trying to go into politics like that? But clearly, Nigeria has, I think Nigeria always find a way to even beat our imagination, because just when we think that we've seen the worst of it, other things just keep coming up to show us that we haven't actually seen anything. Also to piggyback on what my brother, the guy that spoke before said, I think they're trying to create some kind of confusion within APC. With other people, they will now come together and call them together and be like consensus candidate. We all know that this is what is going to happen ultimately, but it's all this money. Although I wanted to say that it's a waste of money, but then again, you say that they use it to buy form and give it to APC and they embezzle it there, or they have already embezzled the money anyway, because the money has already gone out of Nigerian treasury. So it's just ridiculous. But we are living it, and everybody seems to be. We're just talking about it. Nobody is actually doing anything because that's the kind of country we have.
So what sort of thing do you think? And let's stay realistic here. This is a political party. The opposition has had their price for about, I think it's about 40 million. Now you have these SDP is about 35. Then you have parties like AAC, that is Soares Party, having it for free, but you need to pay registration, and every other thing is less than 200,000. So for me, it makes much sense, in that range. But don't you think that parties do have rights? Because it's something that makes them money. I saw a calculation someone made this evening. If you go by the Senate, House of Assemblies, by the number of people that have bought so far, you're looking in the region of around 11 billion that they have collected already. So don't you think that the party sees that as a money-making venture, whereas the individuals that purchased those funds see it as a means of settlement? Someone actually explained this evening that if you buy the form of 100 million, you be rest assured that you're getting a return on investment of nothing less than $500 million.
Yeah.
So isn't that a fair deal? If you can put 100 million and within 60 days you get $500 million, come on. Isn't that business that you may wish to, even you wish to engage in?
I mean, I would if there were business people or businessmen that we can tell how they got their money. I mean, all of these people, most of them, they are all politicians that we can actually calculate whatever they've made in their political life by what they all, what they told us they're receiving. A lot of them haven't made up to 100 million, and these people comes up and they're buying forms of 100 million. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's totally, I don't even know. If these people if they were known, if they were professionals that excelled in their various field, or they were business people that did so well that we all know, if $10 comes out and buy a form for 1 billion, if a political party, I don't think a lot of people will be talking, because by the end of the day, it will be the issue of, okay, if that's what the party want and he can afford it, people will probably be like, okay, it's a way of trying to stop people that probably have the quality to contest. But these people are government officials.
But don't you, not necessarily all of them. Some of them, if you look at, as I've been so informed that Dimeji Bankole has also joined the fray. If that be the case, these people are non-serving people currently. But be that as it may, let me get my brother Ovia, and we have Prince joining us. But let me come to Ovia first. Ovia,
yes.
What's your take? I mean, this is ridiculous. This is, after you, I'll be bringing in our brother Prince. And if we have women watching us, please, this is not only a men affair. We don't want to manize everything. We want to also womanize some stuff. So go ahead.
Well, Putin, knowing the kind of political system we are operating, I'm not surprised, because this democratic or the presidential system of government that we are practicing is a system whereby the political parties are privately owned, they are private business who happen to be operating within the public space or public entity. I mean, what APC is doing is to raise money ahead of unforeseen circumstances. Why? If you look back to during the days of PDP where they're in power, what they do is to organize a fundraiser, and you see people donating 300 million, 5 billion, and all that. So I think what the government of the day, the Buhari, has done, it put everything into consideration. Everything means the economic downturn that we are just experiencing in the name of COVID, thanks to COVID, quote unquote, and the fact that they are fighting corruption. And again,
sorry, who is fighting corruption?
I mean, what do you want me to say? That's what you're telling us now. I mean, they are fighting corruption. That's why they are in power. So put that in there, quote unquote. And again, remember, Buhari said he has someone that is going to anoint. That person might not be someone.
Did Buhari actually said he was going to anoint someone?
I mean, he said he has somebody in his mind, in his heart, right, during the interview that he granted to Arise. You know, that if you mention the person's name, you will be killed, not like literally killed, but whatever I mean by that. But I mean, whether we like it or not, as time goes on, he's going to support someone because he will want somebody that will come and either cover his ass or, you know, continue his legacy. So he's going to announce someone. And it might not be someone that the money bags or those people that will actually contribute that will like. So what do? I mean, they are targeting $30 billion, 30 billion. That's what they're targeting. So in case he brings somebody and the quote unquote the money bags in the party say, well, these people we know, especially somebody like Tinubu who might not likely get the tickets. Is he still going to bring out his money? So these people are actually, the party is actually.
But that's why would people be bothering? Because didn't we read where they said that Tinubu had a plan B of moving into SDP, where he has used a surrogate to hold place for him in case if he fails, then he goes into SDP and gets an automatic ticket from the SDP. Anyway,
yes, well, let me speculate on that. What about if they decide to call him and sit him down and say, Baba, we don't hold, but bring your Peking come?
Nah.
You don't think so? Because so far, everybody, all his political sons have betrayed him. So far, you know, politically, even though they don't want to admit them, it's possible.
Come on, that's not sexually transmitted governance the way we wanted to have it in Imo State.
No, Nigeria, we do. Anything is possible.
Anyway.
So, you know,
I agree with you. Everything is possible. I think we'll be rounding up on this topic. I'll move to insecurity. But let me hear from Prince. Prince, you're welcome. Your thoughts and comments, please. What's happened? Okay, Prince logged off. So I mean, at the end of the day, people, when we look at this, I come back to Barry again. Barry, you've listened to everybody. Do you think that the APC and what is happening, that there is indeed a something sinister being planned or something sinister happening?
Thank you very much. I will not say sinister, but there is something we don't know. It is not just about the 100 million or who is going to get the ticket or who is going to be anointed. No. Most of these people, or 80 to 90% of these people coming up every day, in the last 48 hours, if I'm not mistaken, we've had almost about 6 to 7 people buying 100 million naira from in the last 48 hours. Let me tell you now, when this thing was announced first time, it was like, how many people? 4 or 5, I think the Yaya Bellos, the Tinibus, these are people that just rushed within 3-4 days. Then all of a sudden, there is this surge. Like you said, I think there is a return on investment somehow. And remember, in the form they bought, somebody raised an issue, I think a lawyer, said there is a page there or a section there, they say that you have to sign to agree. If there is a consensus candidate, there is a page there that you pre-sign that even if this thing of consensus candidate comes up, you have signed already in agreement that you follow in line. Yet, you're telling me that most of, look at the Meji Bank and the likes of them going to buy ticket within 48 hours, without 6 or 7. There is a return on investment. Like you said, I've had this thing of like, okay, get 100 million, maybe at the end of the day, there will be 500 million. Now, this is not MMM. This is not MMM. So who is giving 500 million? How will this 500 million come about?
Easy.
Is it maybe if they win election that they are not even yet sure of winning because most Nigerians are angry?
If that's going to make you, it's a very easy action. If you bring 100 million and you have X number of delegates and you're willing to deliver and step down to form a consensus candidate, and they give you $500 million, that's a no-brainer for them. I mean,
sorry, please. Who gives you the 500 million?
Whoever you're stepping that the person overall that they step down for, the person who pays the delegate. You see, the thing
and we are looking at Tinubu here. We are looking at the bullion van man here.
Well,
because I think
you are calling names now, but some people
sorry,
here. But anyway,
sorry. So yeah, I believed somebody came up with this idea when the person saw that maybe the first time 2, 3, 4 people said, okay, fine, I can negotiate, because somebody has said that this is lifetime ambition. Lifetime ambition.
Can I tell you this? Have you thought about that? In order to cripple Tinubu, let's call name, in order to cripple the wee master here, could it be that by the time you get a lot of people, especially from the south, to move in, the delegates that he was going to be fighting for will be slashed? In that way, it weakens him.
That's one part too. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you thought about it this way? Someone said actually that a governor within the Northwest funded some of these people we are seeing. I'm not, no name is being mentioned here.
Yeah.
But have you thought about that those whom we consider political wizards are at work trying to play the political chess game, while you and I are here shouting, the game is being played properly. By the time the cards are all laid together, it might be clear at the last minute.
It could be to buy a position again. I mean, if you put 100 million, you are guaranteed of being a minister or appointee of, special appointment which are waiting for you with that kind of money to pay.
Well, and that means the stealing continues. But before we move on, let's get Prince back in. Prince, could you quickly make your intervention, Prince, if you're able to come in and before you log off again? Hello, Prince. Are you there? If you're there, can you make your contribution, please?
Prince be like PDP supporter. That's why.
No, we are not APC supporters. We are just concerned Nigerians.
You see, Prince, they look like somebody where they don't do MMM. They talk. maybe he bought form, or maybe he bought form and he was not refunded.
Anyway. Those that invest in politics, now they are season this anyway. So
exactly. I mean,
safe for this moment. So
their container is just landed. So now let's move to insecurity in the southeast. There is a trending video. I don't know if any of you have seen this video. I had the misfortune of watching that video about 4 o'clock Nigerian time. That's roughly a couple of hours ago, where a woman, a military officer, was violated sexually. The husband and other people beheaded in that video, and her private part severed and her neck taken off from the body. Watching that, I asked myself, how did we get here? How did we get here? How come that something like this? Recall that when ISIS started, the whole world was, in utter rage. When you started seeing people, something like that, people being shot at close range, people having their heads severed from their bodies, people being burnt in cages, and there was total outrage. Now, many are arguing that if, as is happening today, that if it continues, that you will see a further militarization of the Southeast, a region. So at the moment, a region that is really going through a lot of security challenges. Now, Dubem, I take it that you are from the Southeast. Pardon me and permit me to start from you. What's your view on the current insecurity in the Southeast?
I've tried to make sense of the whole thing for over more than a year now, but you will never ever make sense of that. But I have to go back to where it started from, when Southwest initiated Amateco. The governors in the Southeast then had opportunity of a low-hanging fruit to form some kind of security network, because then it wouldn't be Igbos doing it again, because anything that we start, pardon me, anyone that is not from the Southeast now, anything that we start in Nigeria will always be looked at, the way it will be looked at. Coming from the Southwest, there was a lot of fights, even though it came from there, but they succeeded, and they established Amateco. So the governors in the Southeast, for whatever reason, for whatever promise or whatever fear, I don't know what it was, failed to grab that opportunity that was just there. All they needed to do was to, float what is already there, put it out there. So they didn't do that. And the Eastern Security thing came up. And at the point, it looked like, yes, this was what we all needed and everything, until videos started going, circulating online and every other thing, the kind of things that you probably think will never, because I always think, or I used to pride my people like very civilized people, even when they probably don't have any education. I used to think that there are things that we wouldn't do, but when I started seeing those videos, for the fact that they were doing whatever they were doing in the bush was not even the issue. It's for the fact that they were recording them and putting them out for people to see. I knew there was a problem brewing, but like every other thing, because all I keep asking was, I understand why this needs to be done, but who is going to take this gun away from some of these people once they have it? Knowing that a lot of these people that are doing, and I'm not trying to be condescending or anything to anybody right now, but knowing that some of these people don't have job and they've got gun, somebody without money with a gun is a dangerous person, so how and when are we going to collect this gun back from them? And from everything that is happening, is that the word unknown gunmen started going viral. All we hear is unknown gunmen. Government will blame government instead of doing their job. They will look for the cheapest whatever to blame. The security agencies in Nigeria, instead of actually carrying out investigation and finding out exactly what is happening, they will just target his IPOB and everything, because once you say it's IPOB, that's what the Nigerian system wants to hear, so, and things keep going the way it was going. Am I saying it's IPOB or not? I don't know. But in every 50, in every 12, there will always be Judas, so you people have guns. I don't care how they get it, but now they have it. There are people that want to eliminate their political opponent. It starts from there. There are police and military harassment that is excessive in the Southeast, so some people took it upon themselves. And at some point, some people will be like, yeah, this needs to be stopped. I mean, all the
Okay.
checkpoints.
Okay. Now, let's come back to this. Obviously, there was at some point, during the lockdown, where many believed that there was an invasion, quote unquote, but whether it's real or imagined, that the whole place is a little bit wonky at that point. You made allusion to the Yoruba nation. Was there at any point that the Yorubas did what they did outside the confines of the constituted authorities within the Southwest? The answer is obviously no. Again, without holding brief for anyone, we all know what was happening. Recently, I was told that one of the reasons why the Southeast couldn't take off a Motekun-like initiative at that point was within the Yoruba nation, they didn't have the level of state quasi-Amotekun that the East had. Effectiveness could be discussed. What they didn't have was a regional approach. In Anambra State, during the time of Peter Obi, they had the Anambra Vigilante Services, which Obiano eventually inherited. At least that was as per state. If you go to Enugu, they had the Enugu Vigilante and also the Forest Guard. If you go to Ebonyi State, they had one. If you go to Imo State, under Achiku Denwa, they had the Imo State Vigilante. The only thing missing at that point was a regional coordination. And in the absence of regional coordination, which was a mere nomenclature of trans-border operation, it doesn't and it didn't negate the fact that states within the Southeast had it. Many then argue that by the time non-state actors got into security operations, that obviously it was an explosion going to happen. If you recall that in the state vigilantes, you could have someone as, if you come to a community, you know who is a vigilante person, and there is a hierarchy of report, a hierarchical order. You know who is the commander, you know who is the town, community, local government, however structure is the commander. If anything happens, you know how you can work your way backwards. But when anything had to do with non-state actors, there was no channel of seeking redress. Things obviously, apparently, then got out of hand. Don't you think? Or do you think that should have, I'm still coming back to you, do you think that should have been avoided if that route was not followed? Granted that the governors at that point were dragging their feet, and many people, including myself, were really angry that they didn't seize the opportunity of what was happening in the Southwest in order to have something for the Southeast. Just in 1 minute.
Okay. You say that what they needed, the difference was just the nomenclature. Maybe they should have put that name out there but aside from that, I also know that people from my village, without me speaking or holding brief for anybody, especially the people that we don't know who they are, I know that before then people barely went to the farm in my village. I know this not because I go to the farm or I live there or something, but I know this because it was a common conversation that I hear every day, that people no longer go to the farm. But when those people started their initial operation, people started going back to the farm. So maybe the state thing that was in existence before then wasn't as effective as it should have been. So because the state thing was already existing, coordinating it and making it more effective would have been the proper thing to do. All they needed to do was to be seen to be doing something. they didn't look like they cared. They didn't look like, you know, I'm not saying that, I mean, what we have now seems to be worse because to compare to what we had before, because before it was in the bush, but now we have what we have in the city, you know, so I don't know, but it just
But
one of
again,
those
I
things
mean, it was a recipe for disaster. You said it before. You could not give arms to men who, in your words, are hungry, and you kind of expect them to do what? To just sleep with guns? Of course, they're going to use them to do whatever they want to do. Anyway, let me bring in Mohammed Aminu here. Mohammed, you've been itching to speak on this topic. So may you unmute yourself, Mohammed, please.
Okay. Mazi, thank you for giving me the second opportunity to speak about the insecurity in Nigeria, so to say, and generally about the Southeast, so to say. I hate when someone have a dual morality when speaking about the truth. Whenever you have dual morality, you tend to be speaking from the side of your mouth and be going astray from the real happening of the issue. But starting by the issue, let me just give you a bit history of what happened in the Northeast when Boko Haram started. At the initial stage, when Boko Haram started attacking army and other paramilitaries, so to say, the people or the community that are surrounding are supporting them. Because maybe they had one issues with the military, maybe in the past or in the years, so they are supporting Boko Haram, killing soldiers or killing the military or paramilitary, so to say, at the beginning. And whenever Boko Haram bring an attack to a community, they will inform the community that we are not attacking people, we are only attacking the military or the government, so to say. It becomes so difficult for the army to tackle the issue because Boko Haram person will bring an attack and run to one of the houses within the surrounding, and the people in the house will hide him, and the soldier will not know where he is or she is, so to say. But it leads to a stage where it comes to reality of everybody, that Boko Haram are not only after the army, are after the society and the people. I just maybe are trying to connive to say they're not fighting, they are fighting the army, but generally the physical issue, they are fighting the society, so to say. Because if I'm going to give you a prediction of casualty happen in the northwest, in the northeast, so to say, of people that died or the people that have suffered, most of them are the masses, not even the army or the soldiers, so to say. Though they have been affected, but the majority of the people that have been affected are the masses that are within the community that were supporting the Boko Haram. So you can see that it's the same trend that is being taken in the Southeast. Let me just give you an example. Whenever we are speaking, we need to be taking parameters of what we are saying because we are speaking to the general public, not to ourselves. We should be mindful and say the truth however it comes. The last speaker said that he don't know whether it's who are attacking. Honestly, it's very unfortunate for him to say so. Let me just give you an example. The leader of IPO was on air, collecting salute when he formed ESN. And so many people, and the likes of you, I had one of your videos saying that it ought to be what? Lawful. Because what he is doing as a den is not unlawful. It is not permissible by the government of the state of the Southeast. He on his own formed ESN by the what? Means of protecting farmers in the Southeast. But the question that we need to ask here, please and please, we need to be sincere in answering this question. How many Fulanis have been captured in the whole Southeast since when ESN was formed? How many Fulanis that are killing, as they claim, killing in the Southeast have been captured? If you compare the number of people that have been killed in the Southeast, generally, if you take the statistics, you will see that the majority of them are Igbos. So how are these people protecting the Igbos? And what baffles me a lot about this issue of the Southeast, you will see the people of the IPOB also to say IPOB online ranting, sending threats to everybody. And this action will be carried on by their people, and they will come back online and say it's not IPOP, it's unknown government. Can you see the brainwash? Can you see the brainwash? You will see them online talking about this thing, sending threat to everybody that go astray with what they believe. And an action will be carried on. I heard Nnamdi Kanu saying that anywhere you see soldiers and police, kill them. And they will come back online and say it's not we that did it. It's unknown government. And they will be hailing the unknown government. So sincerely speaking, if you are going to speak the truth as it is, we know who are causing the insecurity in the Southeast. If peradventure, if I'm not mistaken, there were audios that were sent out by a lady, her conversation with one of the IPOB members, saying that he was even telling her that they are going to kill more. If you could imagine someone who has sacrificed his life to protect the life and property of everybody in Nigeria was butchered, his wife was raped before being killed. This is too barbaric. It's too barbaric.
Mohammed.
Yeah.
Did you watch the video in question?
I watched the video. It was very unfortunate. I regret watching the video, so to say.
Okay. Because
I regret watching the video because it was too disheartening. It baffles me. It's hard.
One thing that I believe I did say on my Twitter handle, that anybody with any iota of humanity in him or in her must, as a matter of integrity, speak up against such. No human that has any blood running in their vein should be
sorry, Mazi, before you put I forgot one point, please. Before you put sorry, please. I just want to throw a question to all the what do you call it, the people that are here. Maybe one of them will send a question to me, please. If we were to take how maybe they formed this ESN, so to say, whatsoever they call them, can someone single-handedly figure one achievement they brought to Saudi, if not sorrow and killing? One achievement, please. I just want one.
I think that question is best directed at those who are part of the. I'm not aware if anybody in this any panelist here is one of their members. I mean, unless anybody.
I know. I'm just throwing the general question to all the
unless anybody feels, my late father says, if you do not know where a dead body is buried, when you want to exhume, you exhume from the head leg. So unless anybody feels like taking that question, Ovia, Dubem, Barry, anybody? Or on a one dodge, I'm now like.
No, sorry, there's nothing we are dodging. Sorry, please, moderator. Okay. Excuse me, there's nothing we are dodging.
Who is speaking?
Sorry, Barry.
Okay, Barry, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sorry, please, do it. You see, there's nothing we are dodging. I think I come from the Southeast also. Mohammed, I think this is a state failure from the outset. Like my brother that spoke first said, and like you said in Igbo adage, somebody that doesn't know where the rain starts beating will not know where it starts getting dried. When ESN came, sorry, please, I watched that video and it's very unfortunate. I regretted watching it. It's not encouraging, and it's not anybody will support such thing, please. That's by the way. Now, we talked about when our farmers, our mothers, our grandmothers couldn't go to the farm. Yes. We were all witnesses to what happened in Uzuwane at a time in Enugu State. The people shouted, the people cried. I think what our governor did was to just go there, cried. At the end of the day, nothing happened. And if you had followed the Uzuwane incident, then I think in
2016.
Thank you. Something like that now. In Nibo or what?
Around June, July 2016, yeah.
Thank you very much. If you followed it, they said even before the incident happened, letter was written or a message, or they were communicated that these people were coming on so date, which the members of the community went and approached the security operators in Enugu State, the 82 Division, the DSS, and said, this is what we got. We got a threat that people are coming here to attack us. 2 or 3 days, nothing happened, and they later came and attacked. That was one out of a lot of things that were going. In my own town, where I come from, this has nothing to do with the public or whatever. It is something we communicate, they tell us, well, we're not in Nigeria, but you hear, so person has been attacked, you will see the Weaving send videos, people could not go to farm. Now, the way I say it's a state failure, I'm not encouraging violence, but let's watch it out. Then when ESN came, you asked a question, is there any gain or whatever they brought? Like the first speaker said, Amoteku took off. We were still waiting for that Messiah, that people that will protect us, because for the people of Limbo, Unuzuwani, the government has failed. For the people in various towns and communities that could not go to their farm, that have been raped and killed, killed and displayed. This is not, it's not about, what do you call it? It's not something that was hidden. It was in every nooks and crannies. Now, the people expected the government, the security operators in their locality to do what? To intervene so that they will be sure of some sort of security. Nobody intervened. Even the one they pre-informed that these people are coming to attack, nobody did anything. Now, when ESN came, it became a sigh of relief. Frankly speaking, it was then a sigh of relief, though most of all.
Hold on here. I think, let me prick your brain a little bit. I do agree that to some people it was a sign of relief, but to some they warned against impending. You know, yes. I recall a conversation that ended in this format. It ended with an adage. I know. And for Aminu, I would say, for your benefit here, it means a conversation happened and the adage ended this way. The issue is not giving the monkey water to drink, but is about extracting the cup with which the monkey has taken that drink. What it means is the issue is not about arming, but arming through the right channel. Amotekun is there today. Many people would actually argue that Amotekun is impotent. Did Amotekun stop the invasion of Southwest at that point in time? Capital, no, he didn't. Those that came from outside Nigeria still invaded the Southwest. Have we forgotten what led to the rise of Igboho, even when Amotekun was in existence? So it means if we have any blame, why you can blame those you blame today? If we go back 5 years down the line, the blame goes squarely on the commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces for doing what? For total failure. Exactly. And when I say this, I've said this on multiple occasions, for failure of not punishing crime. I do not care who does the crime. Kenuri, Igbo, Fulani, Ibibio, Hausa, Europe, I bloody do not care who does the crime. The failure of the state apparatchik to say, if you invade my farmland, destroy my farmland, rapes someone in my farmland, you must be punished. If someone is moving with a cow in a particular place and you go in, you kill the person, you rustle the cow, you are nothing but a criminal, you should be dealt with, irrespective of your tribe, your religion, or whatever you believe in. Sadly, because the state and the person appeared by a mere, a means of body language to appear to be supporting, even when he may not, because after all, lastly, a couple of weeks ago, he said that what is happening in the Southwest, he cannot understand it, that the same people, the same language, the same culture, the same everything, the same religion are killing themselves. If I just oppose what he said happening to his own people, that is now happening to my own people, because we in the Southeast, the same language, the same culture, our parents wear the same hair tie, they wear the same wrapper, and we are doing this madness to ourselves. I see no difference here. What it means is the total collapse of security. You know, it's really, as you said before, it's really heartbreaking that another one will happen months later. Not a single person is held accountable. It's really heartbreaking that people's car will be rustled in Zamfara. Months later, someone waits for the state to either pay compensation or brings these cows back, but because it's not happening, the individual takes to criminality. The same thing happens that you kill and you maim somebody elsewhere in Akwebong in Anaba, and there is no justice forthcoming. The same person eventually probably takes to arm. Again, we must begin to lay blame where and squarely where that blame is. Because today, by the virtue of that video, you know, Nigeria is a third world country. Nigeria is a country that is still hung over on military mentality, and you can see that playing out in the individual life of every Nigerian citizen. By the virtue of that video that we saw, if you recall what happened in Zakibian, it was as a result of something similar. If you recall what happened in Odi, it was as a result of something similar. Does that mean that we are now calling for what happened in Ozuwani or in Odi and Zakibian to happen? Hell no. But also citizens must know that there is limit, because any state that cannot protect its own law enforcement officers is nothing but a failed state. Any state that cannot also protect on its citizen is nothing but a failed state. No one should be living in a state of Jesus Christ. You know, sometimes I think, for some reason, I don't know why, but I wish there is a way you can unwatch videos. It's one of those videos I said, geez, you know, I wish I can unwatch that video, because that video violated anything, any atom of humanity left in me. Who hasn't had any go on this? Ovia, please, your comment, please.
Yeah, yeah. This first of all, the question that Abokina, yeah, the question that he asked, and I think even though our brother from the south, he did not answer it direct, but he make attempt by trying to say that before the adventure of ESN, the Fulani's EDSA or the Fulani bandits, however you classify them, were the one pretty much running havoc and terrorizing that region. Then here come the ESN, the formation of ESN, to which you agree with, bring a lot of relief. But are you now saying that they have taken over, they have driven the Fulani herdsmen away from the bush and decided to assume their own duty, doing the same thing that the bandits were doing before, because the killing is still going on? But my stand on this has been filmed for over 2 years now. This is all politics. This is politically motivated. I said it before that for the fact that we are going to have a new sheriff in town in the name of a new president, first time, you know, where is the man in power is not coming back. Everybody is pulling the string, whichever way he or she know how to do best to make sure he or his people are considered. And that's what you are seeing here.
Well, but sorry, Ovia, it didn't start today.
No. It didn't start that, but it's fueling it now at this point. I mean, something has to be there for you to resurrect it. All these things have been there before now, but they are fueling it now because of the new president that is coming. Everybody's trying to pull his string to get it. There's money involved in this space. That's one thing we are not putting into consideration. all these guys are being paid. Are being paid
No.
at the time whereby an average Nigeria, the society is becoming poorer every day. So in as far money is involved, it no go stop as we want them.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry, Mazi, please, can I chip in here?
No, before you chip in.
No, hold on, guys. No, hold on, guys. No, hold on. I think let Adamu. Sorry, Aminu. You're going to respond, but let me have Dubem here chip in. Dubem, 1 minute, and I go back to Adamu.
Yeah. I just wanted to address what my brother. I don't know where he's from as well, but the thing is around.
From Edo State.
Okay, it could be political, but it's gone way beyond that, because even the kidnapping and everything, like similar thing happening in the north, like kidnapping people randomly, not because
that's where the money. That's where I said that's where the money.
No, I want to separate the crime from the politics. I know there's a political angle to it, because some of these people getting killed, you can attach it to being political, but at the same time, there is now a crime going on.
Of course.
You know, so the crime has nothing political about it. It's just hungry people with guns that want to live a certain kind of life.
Let me tell you why I say that. Today, let's say on the Southeast, 99% of the Southeasterners cannot afford to buy AK-47 for those people. Who is buying it? It's not me and you, but who's buying it?
But some of these people were armed by, I don't know, I don't want to say true, by politicians.
Let's say by the elites. Let's put it that way.
By politicians.
No. Listen, guys. Listen, guys. No, listen, guys.
Listen,
hold on. It's not the ordinary citizen who can barely feed his
listen, guys. If we cannot be, if we have to talk, we need to talk sincerely. There are times we blame the politicians, but in these instances, or rather in this instance, we actually know who, how the ammunitions came about. There is a thing we say in our place, an elder who doesn't know how to dig is not being truthful. So, I think there could be some political element to this. But what, as has been said before, is what led to it. It is, even if, it's just like you cannot come in your sitting room. Your television is here. Your room is well arranged. You sit down and you're watching TV. Somebody cannot come and be scattering your house. But if you are already fighting, breaking things, in that commotion, somebody can come and steal your PS4, PS5, your phone in that commotion. All of them na fight. But the question is, if you didn't start that fight, you wouldn't have been inviting an outsider to come in and aid you in the destruction of your home. However you dice it, however you cut it, the initial, disruption of a very peaceful, and I say this, one of the most peaceful region in Nigeria is done sadly by ourselves. If eventually others began to join it, well, I don't know. It's secondary. But who started it? Because if you didn't start it, no outsider would have come in and joined in the destruction of your house. So, Aminu, you can now please, chip in your thoughts.
Okay, Mazi, thank you very much for also giving me another opportunity to contribute. What I wanted to say, we all are, I believe all of you are not even living in Nigeria, so to say, but so maybe you have one or two information about what is happening in Nigeria. But trying to build on the last point you just mentioned, in every region of Nigeria, we have our peculiar problems or challenges. If I'm going to give you an example, in the Northeast, we were fed with what? Boko Haram. In the Northwest, they were fed with what? Bandits and criminals, so to say. And Southwest, Niger militants, so to say. Are you aware that Southeast was the peaceful region, was one of the peaceful region in Nigeria, so to say, in the last 5 years. So going by the point you're trying to make, if we don't know how this thing starts, we cannot end it. It's not just because I'm not from Southeast, I cannot speak about what is happening in the Southeast. But we are in Nigeria, we actually know what is happening, we actually know how it started. If I'm going to give you a simple example to bring the mindset of all of us that are listening here of how it started based on my own understanding and also the information I have on the under me. Let me just give an example. When this issue of IPOD started, they started with what? Houses are the problem. They came, Yorubas are the problem. The tax tool they use was Fulani are the problems. So the question that we ought to ask ourselves, since ESN was created to chase out Fulanis, to stop the killing and the mayhem in the Southeast, has the killing been stopped? Has the mayhem been stopped in the Southeast? It even wasn't as before then. The last brother that speak, the brother with white shirt, I don't know his name, sorry to just, what do you call it? Call it by that name. He said that their mothers were not going to the farm. But I want to chip in something to you here. I'm not in the Southeast, but I have prevention of information that what's happening in the Southeast, we are in Nigeria. I bet you or I tell you that 10 incidents that happened in the Southeast that were attached to Fulani ethnicity, so to say. Are you aware that 8 of them or 7 of them were committed with the same people that are saying Fulani are criminals? I'm not saying that 1 or 2 incidents, Fulani are not the one killing. I cannot say that. But I bet you that 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, there are people that are from there that are doing the thing and they will blame it on Fulani. We all know these things. We should not be, what do you call it, speaking in parables about issues, a national issue.
Aminu, when it comes to this, unfair to say that not all of us are in the Southeast. The world is becoming a global village. On Saturday and Sunday, I was personally in Ebonyi State. Okay, so I haven't, I'm still here. I go everywhere I want. I can tell you that the level of insecurity is now alarming. Not many
very
of us,
alarming, so to say. Very alarming.
Yeah, not many of us will know that. You know that many of us now, when we come down to the Southeast, we no longer have cars. For the first time,
sorry, please. I'm a businessman. There are so many issues with issue of our business that have been crippled. I have a customer in Inu. If he bought some stuff from me, I cannot send him until maybe Wednesday or Thursday. I cannot send him Monday or Sunday.
Yes, because you don't want your goods to be burnt on the way.
Yes.
You don't want your goods. And
he bought from me, I bought from him.
And a lot of my brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora, staying where they are, saying, no, sit at home must continue this, that, do not know the implication. I give an example. I have a friend, I had to, because of the sit at home on Monday, I needed to meet someone in Abuja on Tuesday morning. Usually, it's something you catch a flight on Monday evening, you have your meeting on Abuja. But I had to leave Anambra State on Sunday. What it means, the whole of Sunday night, Monday night, I have to pay hotel 2 days in order to stay in Abuja, right? This is an expenditure I needed not to do, because if I was staying in my house, I would stay in my house, go to the airport on Monday evening, come into Abuja, and the next day I do my meeting and I, do what I want to do. So at the end of the day, the bottom line here, the bottom line of what I'm saying is these things are hurting. But again, if we must begin to apportion blame, the blame must go to the person who, ab initio, allowed, I do not care if it was done by any ethnic nationality, who allowed that to get out of hand. We had security agencies. Why was it that at some point some women, or women, the same way it happened in the northwest, the same way it happened in in the northeast. Women are no longer able to go to farm. It is someone's responsibility to ensure that that never happened. And that lacuna was created by the inability of those who are tasked with the responsibilities of providing security to secure lives and property. And as long as that happened, it became a free-for-all. And sadly,
Yes.
this is where we found ourselves. And it's not palatable. All I can say to us, let us all lend our voices. No matter what, I keep saying this. Many of you say, I'm a coward, I'm a this, I'm that. I say, so be it. But I tell you this, my brothers in law, that if you cut any of us open, there is nothing that will come out aside blood. And any of us, irrespective of where our parents slept with one another in order to give birth to us, east, north, west, south, you can donate a blood that can save me. I can donate the blood that can save you, that makes us one human. Let's not allow politicians and politics, tongue, religion to divide us to the point that we begin to kill one another. And I say to my people in the Southeast, it is nothing but madness that you would argue with someone and you go home, you begin to knock your head on the wall saying, oh yes, I'm going to show this man that I am angry. The man you're knocking your head on the wall for is not in your house. He's not even aware that you're knocking down. So if you destroy yourself and have brain tumor, it's none of his freaking business. He's not aware. So sanity must return for some whatever it takes. Sanity must return. For the first time, I was telling us before, you come to the Southeast, no one goes with his or car. In fact, let me tell you, the easiest way to kill yourself today as we speak is to go to Nigeria, is to go to the Southwest, or especially my state of Anambra, with a federal government vehicle. The tendency that you're not going to come back alive is there. A number with green federal government plate number. It is almost like a crime to drive with any nice car. For the first time, I had to move with keke. For the first time in my adult life, my only movement is because I'm here. I have to be alive, but I have to move with Okada and keke. Is that life? Must everybody be pauperized? Must everybody be living as if we're in a medieval time? It happened in the Northwest, sorry, in the Northeast, happened in the Southeast, now happening in the Northwest. People, on that note, the last topic of this evening, everyone, I said to us that the president is in Ebonyi. Aminu, I'll give you the first shot on this. The president, Muhammadu Buhari, has gone to Ebonyi. And as he went to Ebonyi, he saw something that no other governor is doing, and the president was roundly impressed. What's your take?
Honestly, my take, I give it to Dave Ebony. He has done a wonderful job in Ebonyi State, so to say. It's there for everybody to see and testify what the nice work he has done. I can tell you, in the whole 36 state of the Federation, after Dave Umahi is Governor Zulum of Maiduguri. That is all I have to say. He has really tried for the state, and he deserves it. He deserves to have an upload. He doesn't maybe side at the back of insecurity to say he's not going to work. If you compare it with the state of Abia and other states in the north, they are not hiding under insecurity to say they are not going to work. No, he used his time to develop Ebonyi State with infrastructural development, so to say. And this is how a state grow. So he needs to start from somewhere. If today he leaves and peradventure, the governor that is going to succeed him as the new governor of Ebonyi State carry on, that's what we call continuation in politics. So the Ebonyi State will be a wonderful state, so to say. Just like Governor of Borno State, he has done a wonderful job. If peradventure he leave office today and the person that succeeds him is willing to, he has what we call political will to continue from where he stopped. Honestly, I can tell you that these two states are going to be wonderful states in Nigeria. That is all I have to say. Thank you very much.
So, Aminu, before I let you go, what state are you from?
I am from 2 states, so to say.
Sorry?
I am from 2 states.
So, which and which?
Yola, and Kano.
Yola is not, no. Yola is not a state. Yola is my third
Adamawa,
state.
Adamawa and Yola. Adamawa and Yola.
Where in Adamawa?
Inside town.
Where?
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yeah.
Do you know Zoc Nigeria Limited, Hospital Road?
I do.
Okay. You know Zokis?
Yeah.
You are aware he's my brother?
I'm not aware, sincerely speaking, because most of my stay is in Kano. I usually go there for visits.
I do come to I do come to Yola. I lived in Yola. I lived in Jamaica. We had shop in Hospital Road. But anyway, sadly, he's late now. He was buried last week.
So sorry about the loss.
Yeah. Anyway, so now if you are from northeast and northwest.
Yeah.
Some people are saying you have 2 PVCs. Is that true?
I'm having what?
You have. Some people said you have you because you're
I don't get you. I don't get you now.
I didn't know what you said. I didn't get the point.
No. Some people in the comment section are saying because you're from the northeast and you're from the northwest that you have 2 PVCs.
I cannot see. I'm a very sincere person, so to say. I'm not trying to impress myself or praise myself. I have only 1 PVC. Only 1.
Okay. Thank you very much, Aminu. So let me come to Barry.
I appreciate the opportunity given to me to speak on your program. I really salute you. God Almighty will protect you and guide you from what you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. If you don't mind, Aminu, can you inbox me? The comment section, the private chat there, where you sent me. Can you WhatsApp me Can you send me your number there? We'll get in.
No problem.
We'll get in touch afterwards. So Barry.
Thank you. Thank you very much. As regards the Ebonyi State Governor, Engineer Dave Umahi. You see, I always, before this APC presidential ambition and everything that distracted him, he is undoubtedly one of the best governors. His first tenure, his second tenure, Abakaliki is somewhere. I know Abakaliki because I did my then pre-science when it was ASUT, I think before the creation or whatever of Ebonyi State, from Enugu State. And what he did in Ebonyi State, I think is very remarkable. Let's tell ourselves the truth. I'm not from Ebonyi State, I'm from Enugu State. We see what is going on. I could remember when they used to advertise the quality of road he was constructing then 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and everything. Check the hospital, check the market. It doesn't matter the flyover. Some people might call it White Elephant Project, but it's still good for Ebonyi State. Like Mohammed said, Zulum and Dave Umahi, I think they are the best governors. What distracted Dave Umahi is this presidential ambition. He has done well. He has done well, but
let's step back a little bit. Is Dave Umahi actually distracted?
Yes.
How?
Thank you very much. I think he was focused. He was focused towards developing Ebonyi State, which he did a very good job. If it's not because of this rave and this ambition of, trying to pacify the center, in quotes, what I'm talking about, trying to pacify the people in Asorok or whatever, the cabals or whatever he thinks, in order to make them, to lure them, okay, fine, that he wants the ticket. If I had concentrated in Ebonyi State these last 2 years, I will tell you, you would have seen more infrastructural development.
Now, I may disagree with you. You know why I'm saying this?
Yeah.
I would say that I would disagree with you as someone who, in the last 4 days, was in Ebonyi.
Okay.
And who, in the last 4 days, for 2 days, went round almost the whole of the state, on my own with the driver and the crew, recording on my own, just uninvited. Because, when you hear about a lot of things happening, I've been there a couple of times, then you begin to appreciate that. I don't personally think that Dave Umahi is distracted. These are my reasons. There is no project that he has started that has overshot his timeline. For instance, you talk about when I was listening to Buhari's comment yesterday, for the first time, it actually dawned on me when Buhari said the following, that he was in Ebonyi in 2017 to lay the foundation of that Ebonyi shopping mall. 2017, to lay the foundation of a shopping mall. And today we see that totally world-class finished. Then I struggle to see where the distraction is, because he's still gone ahead, irrespective of what, he wants to finish it before he hands over. The airport, for instance, the license was granted under President Muhammad Buhari. It hasn't stopped. If you go to the airport, it's almost like day and night work and trying to ensure the level of concrete work that he does, the road he does with concrete. Even the federal road, though, because if you're coming from Enugu, you see about 2 bridges on that federal road. And the way he does the roads, dualizing the Enugu-Abakaliki road until Enugu Junction, basically putting your state governor, Ugwuanyi, to shame. Because the moment you come into Enugu, it appears you have gone from VI to Ajegule. Sorry, but that's the way Enugu, that's on that road. That's where it seems. Because your car will start, you don't have any bombs, you're riding on a good road, you think this is done by humans. So when people say this, honestly, if he has an ambition, that is his own problem. But I do not think that has actually distracted him. There is one thing I've noticed maybe about Dave Umahi. I think he's a man who likes mainstream. He likes to be in the mainstream party, believing or rather wanting to play the politics of Dr. Nanda Azikiwe and Emma Okpara. He believes, I think, in the politics of the center. I might be wrong, but that's what I think. That he believes in the politics of the center. I mean, because if any of the project is been stopped, then I would tend to agree with your line of thought. But I haven't gone through Ebony. I cannot see any project that is stopped. Rather, the only thing that I question and people say is, how does he get the money? I think a reporter asked him that yesterday. And he said, well, it's the same allocation everybody gets that he gets. The only reason why he's able to do much is that he does what he calls direct level. He doesn't do contract. So, they do direct level. Whatever his magic is, I think all the people in Nigeria, as said, they must go and learn what him and Zulum,
Professor Zulum,
they must go and learn it from them. Ovie, are you there?
Yes.
What do you think about Buhari going to Ebonyi State? So we'll round up.
I mean, politically it's good for him. And yes, kudos to him for the infrastructure that he's putting together. But my question or my issue with that is that, what about the manpower over there? Are they equipped enough to actually not just take advantage of this equipment, but also be able to maintain them? Because I know because when I saw especially the buildings, when I saw the universities or the buildings, a person way can hardly feed himself for house will come this nice and abroad-looking place, work, and it's going back to the same place. Tomorrow, if you give him budget to maintain the place, his goal is to make sure his house it looks closer or something like where he works. So now my issue with that is he investing so well in the people of that state to be able to make sure does what he's doing continues. Because if he's not doing that, as soon as he's leaving power, the next governor will come and say, no concern, I will start his own too. At the end of the day, we will see new structures, but we will see the one with the built yesterday going down. So I think if he's investing more on his people, I've not really, other than traveling by going there, I don't really know how these people of those states are faring, compared to what is in the ground.
Fair point. I mean, you've raised salient point. My concern, I must say, is also has always been building structures in Nigeria. Totally, there is one thing Nigerians are very terrible in doing, and that is maintenance.
Maintenance, yeah.
Flying out of Abuja International Airport, you would actually know that, for the first time, I don't know any of you who have used the BA or the Lufthansa from Abuja. For the first time, you basically feel proud to see something that is close to what a human being should be using. International, when you say international standard, impeccable international standard. That even the Wi-Fi are there. That is where I have seen the fastest download speed, not upload. Download speed. I mean, before COVID, I know in 1 month I can fly 6, 7 various international airports, spending considerable amount of time at the airport. So one of the things I do normally, any airport I come in, I look at my speed tester, internet speed tester. I keep records, apart from Singapore, Shanghai, that has also, but when you come to Europe and America, it appears they beg them to give you internet at the airport, but again, if you look at that, you understand that these things are where I think issues will be in line with what you're saying is maintenance. But also, I've been told by the people that I have interviewed that they work, those buildings, those things you see are done by locals who have been trained. So if that be the case, that means the knowledge is there to keep the maintenance of what has been built. You see, so if we are able to build that local knowledge, then that means there is hope, that things wouldn't fall apart. Because it will be really heartbreaking that after all the things is done, when he goes, someone comes in and everything goes kaput. But if, for instance, the school, the King David University of Medical Sciences, if you look at like the cancer center, all these things, liver, kidney, that Nigerians go to
abroad.
What's it called? Abroad or India.
London, yeah.
Imagine if these things are done, that our own India will now be Ebonyi. Somebody has kidney issue kidney transplant issue. You come from Kaduna or come from Lagos or from Enugu or and go there. I think it's with that airport. I think if you ask me, strategically speaking, I think it's a no-brainer.
Sorry to interrupt. I have a question regarding that space you just touched. That you talk to people on ground and they will actually train and work, to see the infrastructure and whatever. But listening to Ebonyi, the governor and the president today, they said the governor said he will handle the project, will handle the facilities, the King David, to the federal government. To which Buhari said, "I accepted." Now, with this syndrome, this sickness we will get for our country, will the person will go to federal level to say, well, yeah, you don't try. You will come out that man that they say you was trained to see this facility to maintain. They will come out and go put in your own person, which is not hard to be found in Nigeria.
Maybe it's not public, but I tell you, from the information also that I know, when you talk about, because they say modalities is being worked on. What are the modalities? The details, the devil is in the detail. What I think is happening is, when you talk about handing over, you talk about the professors there who will be paying them, you understand? Now, I think there are the states, if I understand properly, which is not being finalized yet, it doesn't appear to me that the state is going to hand off entirely and wash off their hands. I don't think that is the arrangement. I think the arrangement is maybe in the heavy lifting of, maybe some certain payments. I agree. If you hand that fantastic edifice to the federal government, wahala fit dey. But I think states are, going to be reserving some rights.
I like.
I think. Sorry, please. I think that's where the distraction comes in. Sorry, please. You see where the distraction comes in. This is a project. King David University for Medical Sciences was a project initiated by him. One of the best, good, everything. You're talking about kidney transplants. If it becomes our own India and our own wherever we will go for kidney, it will generate enough money to pay whoever that is there. Then
I agree, and I agree, and I see where you're coming from. But
see, that's the distraction, because he's trying to be in the good records of the federal government that cannot even maintain one single university.
No. You don't need to hand something over to the federal government to be in good books. It wasn't built by you, so I don't need to hand it over to you to be in your good. But I think what is happening here, I think smartly, before I take a stand on anything, I like to see details. Until the details go beyond public utterances of we will hand it over, but we are going to work out the modalities. Until that modality is being worked out. And bear in mind, for a man who conceived such a fantastic project, I should think that that same man wouldn't be daft enough to just destroy the same thing that he'd worked for. And again, because from both sides, there was a conversation of modalities. If that be the case, if modality be the issue, I believe that will be ironed out. Dupem, before you sleep off, so your concluding thoughts.
I'm not really sleeping. I'm just getting the whole information from you guys, really. I didn't watch the video, although I saw it pop.
You go back to Njenje Media. It's a 27 minutes video, comprehensive recording of that place.
Okay, maybe I will do that later. So yeah, I didn't watch it. I personally have my own bias against the man, but if you guys say that he's doing wonders, I suppose with the little resources as well compared to other states, because I don't think that he's getting as much as many other states in the Southeast. So if everybody can say this about what he's doing, I suppose my own personal reservation when it comes to, the insecurity and every other thing that I feel like they all play their part in making worse. I would say kudos to him, and it's also good for his political career or ambition. The president visited his state, so good on him. And people of Ebonyi State that will get to, and people of Nigeria that will get to use the facilities.
Okay, I will close on this note. Maybe I'm biased somewhat because I've seen this project in the last 3 days. Maybe I'm biased.
No, you're not. He's one of the best.
Maybe because I look at this project, I begin to knock my own state governor or my former state governor of Anambra State in the person of Obiano. And because I had the privilege of, in one day, using, driving on the Ebonyi State runway, the airport runway, the same day, going to Anambra State to catch a flight. So maybe having the picture in my brain from Ebony, getting to Anambra State and suddenly become disappointed of what I'm seeing there. And I start asking myself, no be the same God who created these two men where they do these things. But again,
but I think Ebony is known for, Akwa Ibom, right? Is known for quality infrastructure, because even his predecessor, the man of Akpabio, when he considered those roads and flyover, it was actually the talk of that region, not in the country.
No, you're talking about Akwa Ibom and Ebonyi. They're different states, please.
Ebonyi and Akwa Ibom are different. Akwa Ibom,
yes. You are not being biased. You are not being biased. Dave Umahi has done a fantastic. I don't. You see, personally and politically, because of all these APC things, it's not in my good books. But when it comes to infrastructural development, kudos to him.
But
The
even
best.
when you talk about even APC, I think, you know, the issue with APC was with Buhari. For me, it expired. You know, PDP, APC, now the same people.
They are the same. Yeah, you're right.
Now the same people. So, you know, it doesn't necessarily make any difference.
Let's watch out for NNPP and SDP.
And AAC.
NNPP is already taken by, you know, the Kanus again. I think Kwankwaso is leading that one, and we may likely pick our brother Pat Otobi as his running mate. You know, wow. And NNPP side, then SDP, we don't know. That's still on the.
But SDP is Tinubu's backup now.
Yeah, so let's see. But as we earlier said, I think APC will offer him give him a good offer, other than his presidency. They will make him a good offer. That
you know what? By the virtue of the things he's done, if he doesn't get the presidential ticket for APC, I will be happy that he gets the Minister of Works.
Oh, Tinubu, he won't take it.
Dave Umahi. No,
Dave will take anything. No appointment.
No, we dey talk of Dave Umahi. Now, who they talk of?
Okay, Dave Umahi. Okay, yeah, no.
When I saw the infrastructure, that came to mind too. I say maybe, and he pick a ticket for 100 million. Maybe that's what he's shooting for. If they give it to him, you know, things could change.
Honestly, I mean, you know, realistically speaking, if you ask me on the APC front, let's actually do this permutation. On the APC, if you are told to pick two candidates, you know, let me go down. Barry, who will you pick from the APC?
Sincerely speaking, devoid of every sentiment, Dave Umahi is one of the best because he will develop that country infrastructurally. Abakaleke, I know very well. And if you go to Abakaleke today, I've not been to Abakaleke for the past 10 or 15 years, I don't know, sorry. But well, with what I'm saying for the past years, I know he has done a fantastic job. Then others, I see, I think.
So you won't touch Okorocha and George Zokalo.
Oh please. What have they done? They have been former governors. Show us what you've done. You understand? Okorocha has ruled the Imo for 8 years. I don't know what he has done, but whatever he has done, fine. And he has a lot of political baggages, what I call political containers. You understand? Ojizokalo, forget about it. Is it Ngige? When we talk about Southwest, let's narrow it to Southwest. Is it Ngige and other people? Then come to Southwest. The Tinibus, I'm sorry to say it. Tinubu is not fit. Health-wise. Let me just... Irrespective of every other thing, he is not fit health. We all know that. Let's not play to the gallery here. Then PYO. So for me, Dave Umahi is one of the best.
Okay, so I know Ovia is a political juggernaut. So Ovia. In APC, stay in APC. Who would you say?
APC, what I want or the reality on ground?
Well, now your reality we want now. We know.
No, let's be honest here.
My reality, APC, actually, for somebody that I'm looking forward to has not declared yet, which is Buba Marwa.
Who?
He hasn't declared yet.
Buba Marwa. Let him be anti-corruption agent, please. Let him not be president.
No, why?
That is where that's where his forte is.
No,
wouldn't it have been better if Buhari wasn't president and he was Minister of Agri or Minister of Cow Resources?
No, when he was governor
of Lagos State,
for instance, the insecurity situation in Lagos was actually out of control too, and they put it together. And he brought to control road, he engaged the youth and everything. That's in Lagos. Did the same thing in Borno State. So that's what people are not reminding. People are just looking to.
No, I agree. I agree. So, but the ones declaring interest now, who would you select? Who would you?
Select? So I still give him space. Yeah. Then I think in time, because it's not the administration pride itself with the infrastructure, whatever. I think what's his name? Amechi is somebody that stand a chance. Amechi stand a chance, better chance than the rest candidates so far in APC. I give him the upper hand. I mean, and I think if I arrive at that conclusion based on what I'm seeing during his declaration, we see the people who were there with him. We see
because Amechi, because he was jogging during his declaration.
No.
Antecedents, please. Antecedents, not because of the crowd.
One of the presidential fleets was there, right there in Port Harcourt with him. The chief of staff was with him there. In fact, even my uncle, quote unquote, Shomole dropped a speech. So, the kind of people he picked Ndimi as his campaign director, that's very strategic.
Oh, wow.
And the places he's visited so far, the kind of people that he chooses to visit, how far he's going with the campaign, I think I'm kind of impressed.
Okay. So, Dibem.
To be honest, I wouldn't pick anyone, but since this is our realities, let me go with let me say something then. I would say Professor Yomi Osibanjo, although I'm still struggling to, trying to remove him from all that has happened within the last 7 years, which I can't. But I want to believe that maybe if he actually has the power to do things that he might just do it different. And I've heard a bit about Ebonyi, but I really don't know him that well, but I've heard what people say about him. So,
but Ebonyi promised us that we will start producing pencil in 3 years, but we are in the 7th year. I do not see any pencils written made in Nigeria.
Yeah.
But he's a gentleman. I mean, he's a gentleman, though. He's a very calm, cool gentleman. Yeah. The other day, someone sent, the guy, even as a minister, I think he has written about 7 books in the last 7 years. He's intellectually mobile. If I may quote Dino Malai. Okay. I mean, honestly, for me, I think considering what Nigeria needs now, I think what we need is someone that have to do 2 things only. Because insecurity is as a result of lack of security. Insecurity is as a result, and when you say security, when you do not have food security, you don't have the freedom of thought, it creates insecurity. When you are not engaged, you don't have anything doing, it creates insecurity. So if you ask me, I would rather think that in the APC, if we stay in the realm of APC, Dave Umahi is the candidate. Secondly, because if I bring in the sentiment of Southeast, having a shot, I would say Ebonyi on the second. But if everything is taken off the table, I'll stick with Dave Umahi. Third position, Professor Yemi Osibanjo. But
what about small man in the river, in the Cross River?
Which small man?
Or small professor. What's his name?
Ayade.
Okay, that Cross River.
Yeah,
the crying governor. No,
Buhari Pikin, no.
You would also talk about the NDC, the minister for NDDC, former governor of Akwa Ibom State.
Well, the uncommon transformer.
The uncommon transformer.
I don't.
Ogbonaya, that's one person that people don't actually pay attention to. He could pull up a surprise.
He could because he has been with Buhari for a very long time from the NPP time. So he could. I agree. But again,
if the Saudi agree to accept the vice president, that could be the right man too.
But again, if you consider the rapprochement between the president and in terms of, because Buhari believes that he is doing a lot in the infrastructure side, and if he wants to continue, one man that can give him that In fact, if you pair Dave Umahi and Zulum,
Zulum, yeah.
wallahi, anytime you guys fly into Nigeria, you might miss your father's compound because everywhere might be turned into construction site. You know, and that's what we need at this stage. You know, Nigeria is really backwards. Nigeria really needs to, you know, everywhere needs to turn into infrastructure, you know, into building sites before we get it right. But we never know. When Buhari was contesting, he told us that APC was going to be from top to bottom, but not many of us understood what he meant. But now,
APC from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom.
so that was a prophecy. Many of you didn't, you weren't in the spirit to understand what it meant. And, you know, but he was assuring us as well, because recall that many times he assured us that security was going to improve. But I don't know if his assurances amounted to anything.
That our government. But I assure you. I want to assure you. I assure you.
You see, sometimes we blame age. Sorry to say this. It's not about age. It's not about age. Sometimes we talk about here. I don't know if most of you have heard about
saying it's not about age, but if Asari Dokubo would disagree, I will tell you,
how many times will they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you. 70 years old.
Now that you're able to draw correlation between Umahi and Zulum, would you say what they actually have in common in totality is the fact that they are homegrown politicians, so they actually know what the state and the citizen needs?
I think the thing that I think both of them have in common is this: both served in the previous government. They had something to offer. They served at a lower cadre and really worked, because they even served as a deputy governor for 8 years. So
yeah, he was the chairman first too. Chairman of the state.
So, yeah, but that's political. But being in charge, you know, really going to states, you know, really seeing things, and you're kind of, if you're a man who has a dream, will say, "Don't worry, any day I get this chance, I'll do this." The same thing with Zulum. Zulum was a commissioner, you know, who really went in, did job. So when he had the opportunity, where I started noticing Zulum was when he became governor. He promised 100 schools in 100 days. And in 100 days, he delivered those schools. When we talk about schools, it's not bungalows, two-story building. In a war-torn area, he was able to do it. You know, anyone, like in the days of M.I. Okpara, anyone who must come close to governance must understand that Nigeria has lacked, Nigeria is lacking. If we need to play catch-up, we must be in a hurry. Sadly, that is one of the things Buhari doesn't understand. He doesn't know it. And it's sad, because if Buhari did, he would have been in a hurry. But he's not. That's why it takes him 7 months to get mere ministers that you could submit the day you are being sworn in. You know, the day the Senate is sitting for the first time, you submit that names to them. But he couldn't. Even when in between being president-elect and the president sworn in, you had 90 days. That is 3 freaking months. If you cannot compile a common names in 90 days, you can't compile them in 2 years. That's my view. But again, he failed. So, you know, by the virtue of the fact that Zulum was elected and he immediately took off to accomplish their promises, And since then, he hasn't stopped. He works. The same thing with Umar. He hasn't stopped. Because if you go to Ebonyi, for instance, every single road in Ebonyi is made up of concrete. I keep asking this, and nobody has answered that question. Before Umahi, which road were they using in Ebonyi? Because every road you drive in Ebonyi is built by him. So I'm like, were they driving at the back of camel before? So what were the governors before him doing with the monies they were collecting? If there was nothing, because every single serious, even to the point they even built a new governor's lodge. So what were they doing? Anyone that is going to govern must be someone in a hurry to develop. If not, they see people who go old for Bodoibo or for inside the care homes, they're not going to come back.
You said it all. Somebody that has a dream, that is it. It's not about where you come from. Most of these guys buying 100 million, I don't know what happened. I don't know why they rush. Yeah, no dream.
Now business.
Sorry to say
it. It's not by dream. It's all about business, transactional. That money.
Well, at this stage, we shouldn't be talking about business. But let me tell you. Let me give you an example with a country called Brazil. I don't know if you're conversant with Brazil. It's one of the biggest, the biggest country in South America.
During the time of
they hold the election October 15th this year. They are bringing back the president that ruled them, I think about 16 years ago or 20 years ago. The man is about 80 years, close to 80 years. But when you come here, everybody, when you go to Brazil, everybody wants the man back because the economy of Brazil is down. Everything is high, inflation, everything. But they want this man back because of what he did.
Yeah, now so we want Buhari back, or maybe don't worry. Listen. When the man was governing Brazil, the thing never reached like this. There was no children never open eye. Don't worry, you go to sleep for office on an eye.
Buhari did nothing there. No, Buhari don't do anything that time. It was just anti-corruption, war against indiscipline, no development.
As usual. Why those people will agree to pay 100 million just to maintain whatever they are doing? It's because now them. Since 1999 to date, how many actually new people there in mix of them? So now them. So they have to continue what is waiting. They work for them. Now there's no need to change.
It's not what is working for them. They're keeping themselves out of prison.
That's why I say they will keep doing it until
sowing seeds. So they are sowing seeds.
Yeah, they're keeping themselves out of prison. Put somebody like Maz, okay, then all of these people will be
now, this is with Maz, they don't go allow Maz, or they go wait for Maz to get tired when you don't old. When they know all the, you don't come that they go initiate. But what am I trying to say? How are we involved in the process compared to the Brazilian people you are talking about? How the general mass, man abroad, Nigerians, man abroad. How are we involved in the process of things, good or bad? So these people they continue to do what they do because not them. They know them. So there's nothing, you don't need to look left or right before you do whatever you want to do. You don't need to consult, say, this 100K where I want to do, so what they buy something go like this. But they know whichever way the things swing, either PDP or APC, as much as they talk, it's not the same. They will find a way to mitigate and keep themselves away from prison and just keep into the same thing because a lot of us thought it's a dangerous process. It is not involved. We won't go heaven. So many things. So the things we keep changing depends on how much we are interested in the process. Because now we could change it. They will not change it. Now, those are the only business that they set rules by themselves. They change it as time they want. Now, only politicians, they run that kind of business. Now, then they set their own rules of the business. Now, then they operate them. So, the more they populate the whole process, the more they will need to think outside the box. Because right now, they only think, just go thief money. You are sure of one position the next time. So, nobody they think again, say, okay, who do I need to bring to make sure that I cover this, which can be there? No, they're not because now few of them. If you carry phone, call the owners. If you host them, buy drink for them, they are too few. There are not many like that. So gradually we will get there when we decide to say, okay, enough is enough. Me too. This thing they say no good, I will die there too. Because
I think we missed it in 2020 with this Sorosoke thing, the Sorosoke. I think we missed something there. If the tempo of that Sorosoke, the answer something, if we have transformed this into a political movement with the same force and everything, by now most of these guys would have gone in. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened about this Sorosoke and that movement and fast and everything. Everybody just chipped down.
How can you say you didn't know what happened?
I don't know, please.
How can you
there's
say
one thing about this money
No.
they complain about too. Again, we know they contribute to their survival. When I mean survival, the party. What's his name? The governor where they arrest after I come out, I think should be your state governor, Mr. Mazi. Now the excuse when they give you that the 400 million, they say he uses it to sustain the party. So now excuse me that. Now he only in the bankroll the party. That's what he's saying. So these people now when you for them be that because now the excuse where APC they give me that the party has to challenge again the litigation that is coming. We have to do. So if we ordinary people when we form our own movement, we can finance it because I believe that Sorosoke movement. The problem they have is the financial channel. Where is this money coming from? Once you call where the money coming from, it's over.
No.
If you raise ourselves, we go very hard.
I don't think that the Sorosoke, aka NSAS, was as a result of finance. Many people were donating money using cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Many people donated money. Like myself and a couple of others, we donated ambulance, on standby to take care of, people in case if there were emergencies.
Yeah.
The ambulances, every single day, we paid 150,000 for them to be on standby. Now, what I think the issue was that the elite found a way to break into the heart and soul of the movement using the same people that the Sorosoke generation we are fighting for to break them. That is the security agents. You and I saw that.
Yeah.
When army that is trained to protect the territorial integrity of a nation comes into a place and opens fire, and it is denied up to today to the point that even the lying machine of the nation is still telling you that no single soul died. The president of the Federal Republic, in an interview with a Rise TV crew, told the world that he thought and he is convinced that the youths were marching to Abuja to plan to remove him. So with that mentality, gentlemen, why would we be saying we didn't know what happened? Of course, this is what happened. The president thought the children were coming to remove him. They thought political opponents are planning a coup, and he used the state power to crush them. And there we lost youth. I know a lady here, Amako Yanwa, that has been on my program so many times here. She might be watching now. Someone that was with her, by her side. To today, she has never seen that individual again. The telephone that she called her a couple of minutes before the shooting, till today, that telephone is no longer working. And we had been told that no one died. So with that, the spirit of the young ones were broken. I don't know when next something like that will happen. Is it the 2012 that happened as a result of people being misinformed? Because 2012, when Goodluck was trying to save us from this madness called petroleum subsidy, that the president said that anybody actually who says the Spain subsidy must be engaging in fraud, Yet, many years later, we are still paying subsidy, and that is not
I
fair.
have a question. I have a
Yes.
question. Will you say again that inability for our southern, the movement part, the southern part, inability for them to absorb the North or bring part of the North into the struggle also contribute to the struggle not continue even beyond the massacre?
Wrong analogy. The southern youth did what they ought to do as humans. You cannot, if you recall in 1965, when the conversation, 1957, when the conversation for self-governance started, it was the North that said that they weren't ready. In the issue of NSAS, it was the North that said that they weren't ready. But when the issue of palliative discovery happened, it was the North.
So
that also,
By the way, so they were actually deliberately contacted. They tried to get it involved.
Either way, you see, the challenge we have is the South. When sometimes the South plays this moral high ground game. When you think that your brother is in office but is not performing well, it is the South that will fight against the South. Example, Goodluck Jonathan. Who fought him? The South. Why did he lose the election? Rotimi Amechidem. Right? Mm-hmm. Who organized Ojota? The South. Even the PP master, the one you are talking about now, in the APC.
But we were able to carry the North along now when we were fighting against Jonathan.
No. We didn't carry. No. We didn't carry the North along.
They started from the South.
It started from the South.
It started from River State. Yeah.
It was a spillover. It was a spillover that happened in the North. But again, do you know why it happened? Because then they've been told that the fight against Boko Haram that was happening was a deliberate attempt by Goodluck Jonathan in order to destroy the North. Therefore, there was this resentment that was there. Oh, okay, now it is time now to show the man that we don't like him. But who fired the first shot? The same South against South. Would that happen in the North? No. Buhari is seen as their share. Buhari is seen as their God. You cannot go and fight Buhari. Even people that I thought that had something to offer at some point, they called me, "Oh, Maz, is that what you people are planning? And you want me to come and join this?" And I'm like, "What are we planning? This is for the future." Honestly, anyway, Nigeria Matasef, they give her the.
Thank you very much, Maz. I think
thank you, everyone, guys. Thank you for joining.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you for
join you 6 o'clock tomorrow. We will be having I have a Henry Shield and the Anambra Force on tomorrow here. We will be talking about the state of the Igbo nation. This issue of insecurity, we still explore that. I mean, at the end of the day, we must keep educating ourselves, if not for anything, for we to know that when we do these things, we are hurting ourselves. Especially when you sit at home. I say this, every day you sit at home, my state of Anambra, 5.6 million, but let's say 3 million people are working. If you do a simple mathematical calculation of 5,000 that you lose every single Monday times 52 in a year, that's going to give you 260,000 naira. If you do that same 260,000 naira by 3 million people working in the States, that is going to give you 780 billion. That is only on financial front. Then there are also add-ons that, like Aminu here said, in his line of business, they lose 3 days because of the sit-at-home. I do understand there are sentiments, but again, when I do analysis, I walk away from emotions. look at facts. Sadly, many of us engage too much on emotions. That's why sometimes it appears we don't get things right. On that note, gentlemen, thank you very much for being part of this program this evening. Once more,
Thank
I
you.
am still Mazezoke. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like, share, and subscribe to the platform. Thank you, gentlemen. Good night,
Thank you
everyone.
very much. Yeah.
Thank you.